Obviously, we're standing just not that many steps away from Toyota. Earlier today, I was in Windsor to see firsthand the blockade that is really suffocating so much or strangling so much of Ontario's economic potential with that blockade at the Ambassador Bridge. Yesterday, I was in Ottawa, saw firsthand on the ground what that illegal occupation looked like in our nation's capital. First, I want to say to the workers here at Toyota and to their families that I feel very badly for the circumstances that they find themselves in at this moment, to know the uncertainty and anxiety they must be feeling because of what we see taking place in Windsor. And I want Cambridge residents, I want the employees at Toyota, I want their families to know that Ontario Liberals will do whatever we can to urge Doug Ford in particular to show up and do the job that the people of this province need him to do. Illegal occupations and blockades that hold all of us as economic hostages in this province, that needs to be called out. These blockages and the blockades and the illegal occupations need to stop. They need to end right away. We all support the right to peaceful protest, but this has moved well beyond that at this point in time. I just want to stress, I'm urging Doug Ford, step up and do the right thing. Do not abandon the people of Cambridge or the people of Ontario at this very, very difficult moment. It's time to pack up and go back home. I was in London before being here as well. I had the chance to meet individually with a truck driver who is out there talking very loudly and publicly and in a very compelling way. He's done the right thing. We know that over 90% of Ontario truckers have done the right thing. They've gotten vaccinated. They are working hard every single day to make sure that our quality of life remains strong in this province, that our economy keeps moving. The small right-wing extremist fringe groups that are doing what they're doing, in particular in Ottawa, but also what I saw in Windsor earlier today, it's time to pack it up and go home. I had the honor of serving as the transportation minister for 3.5 years in the province. I know that you cannot illegally blockade a controlled access highway. I know that there's legislation that exists in Ontario, like Bill 68, which Doug Ford with his majority helped pass through the legislature months ago. There are provisions in that legislation that have never been enacted that, for example, would make it possible to pass on the extra policing costs to the occupation or the blockade organizers, instead of making the hardworking families of Windsor pay those bills, or the families and businesses in Ottawa pay those bills, which they shouldn't have to do.
I understand that we're pretty united in being tired of this pandemic and tired of COVID. And I understand a peaceful right for protest. But at the moment, some of the blockades at the Ambassador Bridge and has been interfering with the supply of parts. Certainly the supply chain was disrupted during the beginning part of the pandemic. So as mayor of the city, I am concerned for our largest employer and the families and the workers here at Toyota who are employed. They operate on a very quick, just-in-time kind of supply chain, and sometimes only have a few hours worth of supply in order to keep their line going. So the longer this drags on, the longer folks here are going to have to be either deployed to other tasks, or we'll see line shutdowns.